Okay, greetings everyone. Let's talk about what astrology is and what it isn't. And really what it isn't, it really is, but it's just really some deeper aspects we need to add to it. So for example, you know, a lot of people, when you look in a newspaper, and you understand, well, this sign is compatible with this sign, you have to understand that, one, if it's on Google, they might not know what they're talking about in a sense. But the second thing is, these are general rules. These are general laws. And a general law, as I talked about before, your water and earth signs go together. So that could be like a Taurus and a Scorpio, even though they're opposite. Their energy, as far as the element of the zodiac sign, complements one another. This could be Virgo and Scorpio, earth and water. So it could be a complement to one another and whatnot. And these are general rules, right? And your air and your fire signs go together. Your Gemini possibly can mesh with Leo. Leo could mesh with Libra. Leo's fire, Libra's air and stuff. So these are general rules that we're talking about. But it really takes a fine eye to look at the details of something, of really the energy. And so, for example, you can have an early degree Sagittarius. Let's just say they're born on the first day of Sagittarius, which means on that day that, Sag season, let's say that happened November 23rd. This person is really a 0 degree Sagittarius because this is the first day, okay? And so you can have someone who is a late degree Aquarius. And let's say they're the last day of Aquarius, okay? Because the next day is going to be Pisces. So say this person is born February the 18th, the last day of Aquarius, okay? And so you would say, hey, Aquarius and Sagittarius, that flows. That's a general rule. Why is that a general rule? It's because fire, Sagittarius, Aquarius, air, that's a complement. But when you get into the geometry of it, known as the aspects, meaning, well, this person we said was born November 23rd, they're the first day of Sagittarius, so they're 0 degree Sag, and this person is the last degree of Aquarius. And so tomorrow, this person actually be a 0 degrees Pisces, okay? So Pisces to Sagittarius is a no-no. So that angle that we have is about 89 degrees, and it's almost what we would call a square. 90 degrees is a perfect square. So this energy really don't mix. Or the late Aquarius, the last day of Aquarius, and this person is the first day of Sagittarius. Well, if they was born on November 22nd, then they could be the last day of Scorpio. So the last day of Scorpio, which is right next door, one day later is the Sag energy. The last day of Scorpio may not necessarily, that's a square. It don't blend with the last day of Aquarius. And so the general rule when you're dealing with Sagittarius to Aquarius, that's about 2 signs away. And that's called 60 degrees, because each sign represents about 30 degrees, and it's called a sextile. Simply means an opportunity because fire and air mesh. But when we go inside of it and we say, whoa, their energy is closer to a 90 degree because this person is acting like basically a late Scorpio, or this person over here is really acting like an early Pisces, their energies really are not that compatible, although the signs say they're compatible. You see what I'm saying? And so when you don't know this and you make general rules to, statements to people, you have to make sure that you understand that these are the general rules and whatnot. Because somebody could be like, nah, man, that ain't true, man. I don't rock with Sagittarius. I don't really feel that energy. And they're basing it based off an experience that they had, but they don't know that the energy really was an inharmonious energy based off of the geometry was known as aspects, okay? The degrees of this person's sun sign and this person's sun sign, it don't mesh. But the elements in the general rule say it does. And another thing could be, as I often talk about, would be like, you know, let's pick on Gemini. So Gemini, they may not necessarily get along with, let's just say, Pisces, right? But the Pisces person could be born with the moon in Gemini. They could be born with, let's just hypothetically say, Mars in Gemini. Let's hypothetically say Venus is in Gemini. So they got all this Gemini energy, but they're Pisces, right? Now the general rule is Gemini and Pisces don't get along. But the mere fact that this Pisces person has all this energy in Gemini, you're going to feel that. So this Gemini person is going to feel this attraction. And you shouldn't necessarily base it on, oh, you're a Pisces, no, I don't mess with Pisces, because unbeknownst to you, they have all this beautiful energy right there in Gemini that reinforces your own planets being in Gemini. And when planets are in the same space when we're born, that is instant attraction, depending on what planets are involved. But the attraction don't necessarily have to mean romantic attraction. It can mean business. But you will also, and I think everybody does this anyway, you would note, ooh, that person's handsome. Oh, that person, damn, she look good, and whatnot. You would note it, especially when Venus is involved, especially when Mars and Moon and Sun and certain planets are involved. You'll start to feel that energy and whatnot. Don't mean nothing to come of it, but it simply represents, you know, energy that you can feel and hopefully appreciate. So when you hear these things, ladies and gentlemen, or even attempt to communicate about this science, please understand that there are finer details, but there are general rules to the laws, right? The general laws, again, pretty much, basically, every two signs get along. Every two signs, right? Because Aries starts it with fire, and then next sign is Taurus. Fire and earth, not necessarily. The next sign is Gemini. That's two signs later. Oh, okay, Aries, Gemini, air and fire, that go. So since Taurus was right there, was after Gemini. So it goes Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. Oh, Taurus and Cancer goes, because it's two signs away. So you can work yourself around the wheel every two signs, or just simply Google fire signs, air signs, earth signs, water signs, and then understand that the fire and the air, they can blend, and understand that the earth and the water, they can blend. And that's just a general law, but like I said, and I'll repeat, but if a person is born with all of these planets in the opposite element that the general law says, that's a no-no. All this energy indeed will override that one sun placement, or that one general rule, which is talking about the sun placement. Sun in Sag, Sun in Pisces, things of that nature. It's going to override that, okay? So make sure you really understand that. And hey, I'm having a class that's coming up August the 20th for 6 weeks. Patreon is only 15 bucks, right? So 6 weeks we go get into this and answer anything you want to know about this beautiful, beautiful craft. You know, it's paramount. You know, it's very, very important to know. If you follow my videos on Hip Hop Astrology TV, you know, okay? So check out the Patreon, all right? And I'd love to see you guys later, okay? Take care.